right, Arash. Last week we introduced our segment, which didn't have a name, and now does have a name, and it's Sauce It and Toss It.
A segment has no name. That's for all my Game of Thrones people. Continue.
So I get the duty. No, you have the duty, and I have the
You said duty.
I'm holding iced tea here.
Peter.
Arash, are you excited for this week's installment of Sauce It or Toss It?
I am so excited for Sauce It or Toss It. Thank you to Mike Noble again for the name. We really crowdsourced this name hard. It was a tough journey.
A lot of ballots.
A lot of ballots. We even got to a thing where we thought ballots were being manipulated. We wanted a recount. Some sides were saying stop the count. Some sides were saying keep counting. It was really contradictory.
And for the older listeners, I remember hearing reports of a hanging Chad, which held up the count.
God damn it, Florida. Okay, sauce it or toss it. Okay, I'm going to be saucing or tossing to Ryan. Ryan's going to give me a little bit of love. In last week, I thought you did a wonderful job. We're going to kick it off. Ryan, number one. So Elliot Freeman on 32 Thoughts has Demko as his Vezina candidate this year. Sauce it or toss it, Ryan?
I'm going to give it a sauce.
Ooh, Vezina?
I've stopped manifesting a potential Vancouver goalie injury because I want to remain positive. But if you look at it, there's an opportunity for him to get it if he can remain healthy. I feel like whoever or whatever is playing in net for the Colorado Avalanche this year is not going to get the same love that Grubauer did for
Vezina a couple years ago.
For the Vezina last year. So I'll give it to, it's going to be like Shesterkin, maybe Jacob Markstrom, and then the ultimate twist, his understudy, Thatcher Demko. So I'm going to give a sauce.
Okay, no love for Matt Murray this year. He's not on your ballot.
Shit,
well, okay, we can't do it. We can't do that because what if he is actually really good? And then who was the guy that you made that video of on Twitter? Who was like, the Canucks aren't good offensively, so Halak is gonna let a lot in the net. He really whiffed it. What was that guy? Yeah. And then someone's gonna cut up our voice being like, Matt Murray.
Oh, Vezina trophy winner. What an idiot.
940 save percentage. Holy shit. Rampage. All right.
So I'm thinking a positive sauce.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I tried to do my Halo voice. Okay, number two.
It.
I'm going to, on the Demko thing, I'm going to toss it. I love Thatcher, but I've watched this team a lot, and yeah, I'm just not an optimist anymore. Okay, Blue Jays. To all my Toronto Blue Jays people that have either jumped on the bandwagon or you've been watching since you were born, I'm really sorry about what happened. But, man, the Mariners are real good. And, hey, I would give one thing to Bo Bichette. Bo, get out of the way. Just get... I'm not a baseball guy, but I was like, why are you running, toward Springer?
He's an infielder.
What? I know, but, your back is to the ball. And he's running I don't know. But Ryan, okay. Sauce it or toss it. The Blue Jays choke job is bigger than the Leafs choke job against the Bruins in 2013.
Was it 3-1 or 4-1?
It was 4-1.
120.
So technically you could argue that 8-1 is a 4-1 lead at that time in the ball game and in that time of the hockey game.
I'm going to toss it. I think the Maple Leafs in 2013 absolutely blew it. You have 20 minutes to play smart, responsible shutdown defense, and you have 20 minutes to not get rattled. Baseball is chaos. Baseball has no clock, and they were up 8-1 in the fourth or fifth inning, where the Jays had nothing but time to overthink things and big brain it. And that's what they did with their relievers, and they took Kevin Gausman out. Unfortunately, the Seattle Mariners did that tonight with their closer. But a three-goal lead in the third period of a Game 7 is a bigger collapse. The collapse in Toronto against my Mariners was a more impressive and chaotic collapse, but it wasn't worse. a couple of key things just really made a couple of key butterfly effects happened, resulting in just utter chaos in Toronto, at Toronto, in Boston in 2013. It was just, you took the foot off the gas, you made mistakes, and you gave them opportunities. And baseball is a game, hockey is a sport, and I give it to I toss it. It was the 4-1 loss in 2013 is a bigger collapse.
Yeah, I'm going to toss it too. There's not a bigger choke job in sports history than the Leafs against the Bruins in 2013. Go Canucks, go! All right, 3. No, I did watch the game because I've been watching it in support of you, to show that I care about the things you care about as well. The day that you start playing Persona 5 with me and JRPGs, then I'll know this relationship is a two-way street. Yeah, I don't know. It was watching it in real time. Just, no one could write this Toronto-based script better than the last 10 years of Toronto-based sports. I know we had the Raptors are a great thing, but again, understand the Raptors were one miracle shot away by Kawhi Leonard, from this stuff potentially not happening. Yep. So I don't know. I'll toss it. I think that choke job was bad. Anyway. Okay, 3.
Yeah.
Next one. We are going to get a rematch this upcoming NHL season of the 2022 Stanley Cup Final. Lightning, Avs. Sauce it or toss it?
I'll toss it.
Really?
The Avalanche will probably come back there. They've got some big injuries that they're waiting on. They're going to turn Evan Rodriguez into a superstar, but I'm not too convinced on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it's the easy discussion of they've played too much hockey, they're burnt out, they're tired. They're a great team, but they are an exhausted team. But there's a lot of key pieces that went to greener pastures, and your Andre Palats and your Colemans and your other guys, and Ryan McDonough being sent out of there. There's still a lot of great players, but I'm starting to get a bit of a Chicago Blackhawks vibe after their 3 cups, where it's you got 4 really good players, but the insulation around them just isn't there. They're going to be a great team. They're going to have home ice advantage for a long time in the playoffs, but they are not this complete juggernaut that they have been for 3 years, and it's just because of the salary cap. But I don't know who's going to come out of the East, but I will say it won't be Tampa Bay, so I'm tossing it.
Yeah, I'm tossing it too. I have Ottawa and Colorado in the Stanley Cup Final. I think Ottawa made some really, really impressive moves this offseason.
Are you serious?
Huh?
Are you serious?
Why wouldn't I be serious, right? You don't believe in Cam Talbot? I called him Cal. You don't believe in Anton Forsberg and Magnus Hallberg? Dope name for a fucking goalie, though. Hallberg.
Great name.
Dope name. I'm going to toss it. I feel like there's... I agree with your points of... 3 straight Stanley Cup Finals is a lot. It's a lot of... Yeah. Especially if they're one goal... if they're one Vasi injury away from, I don't know. I'm not saying they're not bad. I'm just saying this stuff does take a toll, and the more consecutive years you kind of do this, you are running higher and higher risk.
I think one of the most endearing things about the Tampa Bay Lightning is, there's the shots in the playoffs of one guy leaves the trainer's room, another guy enters the training room. I think we're going to start seeing it in the regular season where players are just gonna maybe get shut down, and I'd rather give it our all next year. I'm already hurt. Mm-hmm. It's not worth it to play two rounds. So I think you're gonna start seeing that a bit more. Just players doing the right thing, and that's kind of preserving or looking long term, which is you're not out of your window, but it's starting to close.
Canucks are going to have 7 20-goal scorers on their roster at the end of the season. Can I help you out with this?
Miller.
So Miller. Petey.
Besser. No. Besser's.
You're okay.
19 goal Brock Besser.
He's in the lineup for tomorrow. He's in.
What? Oh yeah. What happened to 3 to 4 weeks and it's his
It's
his
the
hand?
miracle of medical science. Believe in your first responders. Oh my God.
Okay, let's start over. JT Miller, Elias Pettersson,
Yeah.
Bo Horvat,
Okay.
Andrei Kuzmenko.
Yeah. Connor Gallant.
No,
You don't think he hits 20? Come on.
I think there'll be 4.
That's
Toss it.
madness. At least 6.
Okay, who are the other 2 more? Who's the
Bo,
other 2?
Petey, Miller, Kuzmenko, Garland, Besser. And then I think like the 2 players you could argue that might be able to hit it, Mikheyev or Podkolzin. I'm not putting Höglander on there. I'm saucing it because I feel like if this team is healthy,
Jeff,
they're just gonna play.
Can we clip this? No,
clip
Jeff?
it.
Okay, thank you.
You
Jeff,
got a Bruce Boudreau team, baby.
Our intern Jeff, I want you to clip it.
Hey Mo, Ray, you like hot dogs or ketchup? What do you like? I'm sorry, I'm just doing my best. That's a Moj fact. All right. Yeah, I'm absolutely saucing it, Ryan. I'm gonna take money off you later.
Agree to disagree.
Friend of the show and Arby's Lord David Quadrelli, the Quadfather, has the Montreal Canadiens finishing ahead of the Bruins, Sabres, Red Wings, and the Senators in their division next season. Sauce or to toss it. That's like, yeah, I had a tough time with this one. I love quads, but I was like, whoa.
I gotta toss it, and outside of drafting sexual deviants, and also outside of hiring idiots to be your PR comms people, don't get defensive in the replies. That's the number 1 rule of PR and communications.
Remember, you don't have to hit send.
You don't have to say anything. Outside of those 2 things, I absolutely love what they're doing with the team. They are building a team that is going to have everything that Carey Price never had. He had one 80-point score.
Poor Carey Price had one 80-goal scorer once.
He had one 80-point score in his tenure, and this team is getting built properly. And I absolutely love Marty St. Louis. And this is my call to action for the listeners. If you can watch video of St. Louis in practice, I implore you to go do it. There is one on Reddit about him kind of stopping practice, being like, this is how a penalty kill box works. Marty St. Louis is 47. He looks 37, and he is the most legit NHL. He's more legit than Rod the Bod. No offense, Rod the Bod, but Marty St. Louis is incredible, and he's everything that an NHL coach needs to be, and a shining example of that. But they don't have much anything, and they have 4 rookies in their lineup. It's a major toss. There's so many more teams in that division that you want to look out for, mainly the Ottawa Senators. I like what they're doing. I love Marty St. Louis, but that's a big toss. Big toss.
I'm going to sauce it. And if David Quads is listening, I can probably do a spot duty on an article based off of how the Montreal Canadiens might run away with the entire conference. Oh, actually, they just might run away with it. I think people are really sleeping on Caden Gooley, and Kirby Doc might have like a 90-point season. Well, I don't know. Realistically, I'm tossing it. I love Quads' take. I think the thing he's hedging on is that the certain injuries for the Boston Bruins are going to be a bit too much for them to keep track. Sabres, I think are taking kind of a step, to really showing even last year with Alex Tuck and Peyton Krebs, and Red Wings took a step. Senators took a massive step forward. And I'm not even talking about Alex DeBrincat. You know who I'm talking about. Come on, Mr. Big G. Oh, man, those hands soft as butter. And talking about
there's a lot of... Wait. That division is elastic energy. There is a lot of potential, and it's unknown. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for the season to start to see what all of those teams look like, because Buffalo's added and their top prospects are coming there. Owen Power, et cetera, et cetera. Rasmus Dahlin's going to have a decent year. Detroit's added a shitload, and all of a sudden they have 2 franchise players and Smart Sider and Lucas Raymond.
For a second there, I thought you said Smort Sider. Hello, my name is Smort Sider. I play right-handed defense for the Detroit Red Wings.
Fun fact: after the podcast, to drown my sorrows in the Seattle Mariners Game 1 loss to the American League Divisional Series, I will be getting shit-faced on Mort Cider later tonight. Is that what you called it?
I'm gonna let you have that joke there.
I fucked it up.
It's okay. It's fine. We'll talk about comedy after the show. I'll tell you all about. I'll tell you all about timing. Talking about butter. Next take, sauce or toss it, Ryan. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I had a chaotic one because I had to cook and work and do everything. I was Reba, single mom working 3 jobs. Ryan, turkey dinner is extremely overrated for the person making the turkey dinner. Sauce it or toss it?
I sauce it, and I couldn't agree with you more. I've never had to make a turkey dinner. My mom forced my sister through various steps in our various years in our childhood. Every year, my mom would sneakily force my sister to learn a different part of crafting a turkey dinner. And then after about 3-4 years, it's like when Michael Scott gave Dwight the Nutcracker as a gift, and he kept sending him little pieces every year. That's how my mom did to teach my sister how to make a turkey dinner.
Amazing.
It's all day work. It's chaos, and unless you are farming out the side dishes, it's just an undertaking and a half, and it is a meal that requires so much attention and constant work and stirring of the gravy and just everything about it. It is extremely overrated, and I love eating a giant turkey dinner, but it kind of goes against everything I do all year long in terms of diet or consumption. And hey, I shouldn't eat to the point where I'm gonna hurl and pass it on the couch. So I'm not the biggest turkey dinner fan. It's fun. I love eating a giant plate of mashed potatoes and gravy, but yeah, I would say it's overrated. Sauce it. I'm saucing it.
So this is the thing, and how I phrased it was that it's not that turkey dinners are overrated, because I think a turkey dinner
specific phrasing.
It's pretty great. Like if you have a turkey dinner and it's cooked well and whatever. I'm saying for the person cooking, I've been cooking the last few turkey dinners in our family because my mom is usually in Iran doing some stuff. The fact that I have to stay for like 4 to 5 hours cooking all this stuff, and this meal is done within like maximum like 30 minutes before everyone just wants to go, and then I'm left with like dishes and then putting all the food away and finding Tupperware.
Hard dishes too.
Hard dishes.
Caked on dishes,
buttery dishes, like stuff, all this stuff. And then you have to do it. And that's like another hour of doing that. I just said to myself, we are just going to get Chinese food next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to support a local business. And if you guys want turkey dinner, we can go to White Spot or something. And I can get a little salad, and we'll have a good time with it. But for me, I'm extreme sauce in it for the person who's making turkey dinners. If you know what I'm talking about, extreme sauce to you, I know your pain.
If you're watching on YouTube or you're a Patreon backer and watching this, Arash has sunk down in his chair about 6 inches while describing his disdain or his thoughts on the overrated turkey dinner out of exhaustion. So
okay, I'll come back up.
There you go.
I did sink in because I thought about how exhausting it was to make that turkey dinner.
Yeah. I just got a text about A&W on the from Amanda, so I just gotta make sure that she doesn't get mustard or pickles on my teen burger.
Wait! You don't eat mustard or pickles?
I prefer not to. That's a choice. I make that choice.
All right. No, you're a man. I'm a man. I'm 40.